Speaking of kids shooting hoops, Brad, we were supposed to do a whole like live episode about your bracket and the choices, and you alluded to it a little bit earlier. Like we would have had these 5-minute conversations about like Nebraska, Vandy, and what these would have looked like. And alas, we didn't have that live session, but you did tweet out your bracket. So, how is the tournament going for you so far?
Tournament's been electric. Some of the highest level ball I've seen ever. Love that that's happened. I think with the NIL, kids are willing to stay more. I think that's always should have been a thing. Like I felt like, you see all these G leaguers trying to come back to the league. Like those are guys that probably shouldn't have left early, and because kids weren't getting paid in college, felt like they had to go. And for that reason, now they're kind of just stuck. No college degree, and no hoops career. It's kind of sad, honestly. So having college basketball elevate to this level makes me feel hopeful that, kids are going to make the right choices and go when they should. And I mean, there's a ton of freshmen that should probably being hyped up. And since it is a loaded class, like some of them might come back. And it's only gonna snowball over the course of the next, decades plus. And, it's been a fantastic tournament. Got some great storylines despite no mid-major being in the Sweet 16 for the third time ever since they expanded to 64. The second time it happened was last year. So my chalk comment has gone through. I've learned a lot. Seems like large state institutions seem to be running the show here. Love a good, Iowa upset, continuing this streak of basically if you win the national title, you don't go to the Sweet 16 the next year. Kind of a funny tidbit. Been a thing for basically the last decade besides UConn going back to back. Yeah, but really just an impressive tournament and super just stoked for the Sweet 16. I mean, if you want to run through it. And
I do want to run through it, but I just want to get a couple of reactions real quick before we jump into going forward. Because I know you said the Cinderella is dead, and it's been a lot of state schools. And I know this feels weird to say because Iowa is a state school that cares a lot about basketball. But can you say the Cinderella is dead when you look at the way that Florida team was set up? And I know it's not the traditional Cinderella, as in like it's from a mid-major conference and you really weren't expecting it, but I don't think anybody was expecting, maybe except for Ben McCollum, that Iowa was going to beat Florida.
Yeah, I didn't see.
And my dad who put it in his bracket.
I definitely looked at it and thought about it and was just like, wouldn't that be something? And then I kind of just moved on and picked Florida. Didn't really, to my fault, didn't really evaluate Ben McCollum's welcome to the show. He has arrived at maybe a guy we should have looked into a little bit, but
maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of behind the weeds stuff there where I don't know if it's as cut and dry as.
Yeah, he's doing a lot with nothing. He's very Signetti-esque. Weird thing where it's like you talk about you need Jimmys and the Joes, like he's got Bennett Sturts as a bunch of scrubs basically, and they're hooping right now. They're doing really good. They are playing great, and just excited for them. And Cinderella is not dead. It just looks a little different to where it is now in 11 seed Texas and 9 seed Iowa. It always has been like Cinderella's never won a glass slipper. Cinderella's never won the national title. They've only gone as far as a natty game, maybe with Butler, maybe if you can even call it that. But like maybe the rare Final Four when you want to talk a lot about Loyola, VCU, George Mason, FAU, San Diego State that year for that matter. Like that's another
Mountain West is a great conference though.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure San Diego State was a 4 seed that year. Like they weren't like a bunch of scrubs. Yeah, it's not dead. It just looks a little different. It's weird calling Texas a Cinderella. It's weird talking about Iowa as a Cinderella, but that's just how it's going to be moving forward. And fact of the matter is just high level ball, and I'm loving every single second of it. And we just have great slate after great slate. High Point was a fantastic team. Like they were legit. Like High Point probably hangs around the Big Ten. Like you saw what that little point guard was doing to Acuff. Like he dropped 30 himself. He was insane. He was electric.
He was an Indiana State commit originally to shirts. Another guy who had a great first weekend.
Yeah. bite my tongue not to talk about Indiana basketball. But yeah, we have a fantastic like slate. We'll love to run through it. Big showing for the Big Ten. We got 6 out of the 16 in the Sweet 16 for the first time in probably forever. And yeah, and it's kind of becoming a thing where it's like, okay, you got this big media deal. Last 3 national champions in football. We got 6 teams in the Sweet 16 now. Coming to America's Conference, slowly but surely. It's happening. We got to get it done. Michigan's got to pull it through for us because they're clearly for me, I went on the FanDuel Sportsbook and I dropped a responsible, not really, a responsible amount of money on Duke, Arizona, and Michigan to make the Final Four plus 408 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So that's the only bet I have alive after a great weekend. I basically cashed some of it, deposited it responsibly into my checking account and then saved a little bit to put more on that parlay that I feel very confidently on. Do see it as going pretty chalky analytically. Duke and Michigan and Arizona are 3 of the best teams of all time, and they obviously pass the eye test. When you watch them, there's 8 guys full of starters deep, and Duke has the little injury, but it's just really hard to predict what's going to happen when all 3 of those meet in the Final Four. And Duke's probably going to see either Illinois or Houston. So
Pump the brakes real quick. You mentioned a couple of different things there. I want to talk about or get your opinion on the success the Big Ten's having, because obviously traditionally or in the last 26 years or since Michigan State last won the national championship, it hasn't been a very successful march for most Big Ten programs. And the other thing is I can't let you move away from the round of 32 without talking about Mick Cronin versus Danny Hurley. So thoughts on the Big Ten's dominance and then your thoughts on that UConn game before it got out of hand.
I'll talk about the UConn UCLA game real quick, actually. If Tyler Bilodeau doesn't go out for the year with a knee injury in the Sparty game, we probably have 7 out of 16 in the big games. UCLA was playing some of the highest level ball I've seen them play since the Jaime Jaquez days. They reminded me a lot of the 2021 team that went from an 11 seed to a Final Four. Like I said, Cinderella is still alive. It just looks a little different. It's blue blood UCLA back in 2021. And yeah, unfortunately, UCLA's just been plagued with injuries. Whether you want to go back to 2023 with Jalen Clark and Adem Bona going out on a team that was top 5 in KenPom and would have contended for a national title that year, probably would have won it, to be honest, biasly. And in 2022, Jaime Jaquez goes down. So it's just been a really rough run for the Bruins, injury-wise, come March, where it feels like I can see why Mick's getting a little frustrated, because it's like if he did have $5 more mil, probably wouldn't be that big of an issue.
They'd have just another build up.
Yeah, but losing your top scorer and trying to, like, we can talk Jordan Adams back in the day too, like him rolling his ankle in the Pac-12 championship game against Arizona, being out for the tournament, and then not getting knocked off by Minnesota in the first round. There's just a lot of history there, and it was just, UCLA without their leading scorer, they just couldn't match the firepower UConn brought to the table. Now with the Big Ten teams, I mean, eye test wise, I mean, just look at these starting fives. A lot of these Big Ten teams have like Cooper, Michigan State. You got Carr, you got the 2 big fellas, you got Fears, like Michigan with that front court, and then you got Burnett and Cadeau running guards. Like Landenborg's the best player in college basketball right now. Like he just is. Like I know Boozer's putting up all this stuff. He's getting all the accolades. Like Landenborg's the best player in college basketball, most well-rounded basketball player in the game right now. And then, Purdue, they're great. Clough, TKR, Lawyer, Cox. Like these are iconic starting lineups. Like these are loaded. And then we could talk about Iowa's got a decent squad with McCollum. I mean, I love Nebraska's 5 with
he just called Iowa Sturts and a bunch of scrubs.
They got a decent squad. Folgularis is playing well, but yeah, there are a bunch. It's Sturts and then a bunch of guys that played like D2 like 2 years ago. Like it is like that they are. And he's doing a lot with nothing. Just wait till he gets like a squad like Nebraska where it's Hoiberg, Lawrence, Sanford, Buchtenschel, and
he's got to have 2 sons first.
Mast and Frazier off the bench, like tough squad. And then Illinois, like you got the 2 Ivasiches, a Stojakovic, a Perkovic.
Take me to the Balkans was the best call.
And Keaton Wagler, like loaded squad. And a glue guy, Jake Davis. Like these are iconic squads, and there's a reason why they're going so far. It's because they got the Jimmies and the Joes. They just do. It's got
the Big Ten was disgustingly good this year.
Oh yeah,
disgustingly good.
And maybe Indiana should have been in. Damn it.
I go back and forth because it's like I get it. Like if you want to take like they played a really hard schedule, yes. But at a certain point, like when do you cut it off? Like
you gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it. So I don't know.
You can't make a field. You can't make a field.
Nobody in this fan base, except for maybe people inside the building, were banging the drum at the end of the season. Listen, I don't know. Let's talk about the Sweet 16.
Want to run through it?
Yeah, let's run through it.
First game Thursday on CBS, 6:10 Central Time. So 7:10 for you Indiana folks. We got Texas. We got Purdue. It's a 6.5 point spread for Purdue. Texas is reeling. Jamal Mark onions.
I'm picking against Purdue until I can't. Like I had Miami to beat them in my bracket. Like I can't. I know the way it looks on paper. Doesn't look great for the Purdue haters out there, I'll say. At the same time, like you said, Brad, this Texas team is playing as well as anybody in the country. And Mark is a shot maker. And yeah, Purdue Purdue is a favorite. Purdue in these types of situations traditionally like to fold, but at the same time, like this is a senior heavy, been there, done that, seen it all basketball team. It's I don't like it at all.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna lean pretty chalky. Should be a fun ball game. That 7-footer.
Oh, I agree. I think it'll be a great game because I think Texas
gives them some height there. Jamal Mark's a really good shot maker, but I just listed that starting 5 for Purdue. Like they're really good. They got Omar Mayer off the bench. They are solid top to bottom, and it's just gonna be really hard to beat any of these 1 through 2 seeds. Unless you're Iowa, I guess. It's
Texas can beat them. Texas can beat them.
Any of these
also lose by 25.
Win. Any of these teams in it can win a game moving forward. I guess Texas is going to win the national title. No, they're not going to beat Purdue and Arizona and Michigan and Duke all in a row. Like they're just not going to do that. But they can in this one moment beat Purdue. I like Purdue here though. I like the spread. But what do I know? I just made a bunch of money on FanDuel Sportsbook over the weekend. I would love Texas to go up like 10, and then I could like take Purdue live on the FanDuel Sportsbook.
I won't do it. Not happening. Next.
A rivalry game in Houston. It's Iowa. It's Nebraska. It's the Sweet 16. It's basketball. Then they're playing basketball, guys. They're not playing football, folks. Nebraska is a 1.5 point favorite. I already listed the squads of these teams. Nebraska is an iconic squad. Like I've been seeing a lot of videos where they're kind of re-showing all these starting lineups from Final Four matchups because they announce them right on TV. I think they should do that for the Sweet 16. Go through televise the starting lineups. It's like an event. It's a spectacle. Like I love seeing that stuff. Like a 6'6" guard, a 6'6" senior out of bumfuck Washington, number 0. Jimmy Joe, I love that. Like that is
you're a big Jimmy Joe guy.
That gets me fired up, like Jimmy Joe, hell of a hooper back in the day.
Hell of a player, Jimmy Joe.
Hell of a player. Yeah, I mean this matchup I think poses a lot of problems for both teams since they're both familiar with each other. They've played each other for a number of years. However, McCollum has only been in the conference for a year, so it's really only their second matchup with each other. Iowa, Nebraska. I don't recall who won the first one. Probably Nebraska. I love this spot for Iowa. I love the spot. But if it was Vanderbilt, I'd be feeling very differently. But since it's Nebraska, a Big Ten team, like that bodes well for Iowa. That's what I'll say. It really just comes down to, can they slow down Price Sanford? Can they slow that kid down? That guy is the ultimate momentum shifter. He's one of the best shot makers. He's gonna have a great career in the NBA. When he decides to make that jump, I would suggest staying in college as long as possible. It's easy to get lost in the sauce in the grown man league. Just is. But yeah, it's a great spot for Iowa. All the pressure's on none of these teams, though. Nebraska winning their first 2 games ever in the tournament. They're just happy to be here, and they're locked out. We get a 9 seed.
The pressure's in the game itself. The pressure is in the fact that it's a rivalry game. That's where the pressure is. This game is awesome. The fact that this game is in the Sweet 16 and these two fan bases might just kill each other on Twitter beforehand. Like I'm honestly almost more excited to watch their fan bases interact on Twitter, and I have a feeling that Iowa's going to pound them into a pulp before that game starts. But they're going to be at each other's throats for a good 5 days. Like this is going to be almost as good as it gets on this app in terms of that type of content, if that's for you. So I'll be paying attention.
2 teams that knocked out SEC teams to get here. Should be a good like of the conference, and I love the spot for Iowa. I love the spot. Ben McCollum seems his style of play very similar to Cronin. Slow it down, grind it out, win the ball game. Type momentum.
Winning is the only that guy just wins. Give me the guy who wins.
He is a psychopath. Oh my god!
When he was like, I was up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was just like, oh, this is how we beat Florida. I'm like, what? Like 2 to 3 a.m.
Indiana could use a guy like that.
God damn it! Stop saying that.
I know. I never said they could use a guy like that.
Indiana has a really important portal to be prepared for and to knock out of the park. That's what they have.
Oh, get the best roster in the country. It doesn't matter who's coaching at that point. Just Todd Golden. Is he like the best? Is he a top 10 coach in the country? No, he's just had 2 of the best rosters the past 2 years.
Dude, that team was the literal Monstars. Did you see all those dudes on the court, like around that Iowa team? Like, it is comical that they lost that game. Borderline, like, it's not fireable. That's such a ridiculous thing to say.
Oh, it's not fireable. I was making jokes in group chats like Fire Golden, but it's like, dude, what a natty.
But no, but you're right. Like that team was not like it didn't take. I could have coached that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, last year.
Stand there, be taller than everyone, shoot the ball. You know what I mean?
Give me Clayton, Richard, and Elijah Martin. Like, yeah, we're gonna win a lot of basketball games. Let me tell you. And the best front court in the conference. Like, yeah, we're gonna win a ton of basketball games.
Yeah, I like Iowa. I like Iowa a lot.
It's a good spot for Iowa, but Nebraska is an iconic squad, and would love to see them continue dancing. That would be fun. I just like their guys, like Lawrence and Sanford and Buchenshell, who's been my guy since UCLA.
Sanford's an Iowa guy.
Rink mass
in a different uniform now. It was hard to. We didn't even talk about it, but the Malik Renew in full uniform ordering chicken tenders was by far the funniest picture of the entire weekend. Seeing Malik Renew, and I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about Malik, but I love watching and rooting for Malik, and just seeing him. First of all, I was happy for him, the fact that he was like played as well as he did this year and all that stuff. But it just sucked seeing him in a different uniform, knowing that he didn't finish his career as a Hoosier. Like that one.
You know what position he was playing on Miami?
The 5, probably.
Yeah. Anyways, don't say I didn't tell you, but
I was the one who went back.
Not to you. I'm saying that to like the universe, not you specifically.
Malik would have been my first phone call.
All right. Then the next game, we got 2 basketball schools, Arkansas and Arizona. It doesn't get more hoops head than this. We got the best point guard in the country, Darius Acuff. He's literally averaging like 40 points a game this month. Like,
I've seen people say
honestly,
he's the best
overestimate, but I'm probably off by like 7 points.
I've seen people say he's the best Cal point guard.
John Wall was really good.
John Wall was really good.
John Wall was really
so
good.
is Derrick Rose.
But he is a better scorer than John Wall. He is a better facilitator. He's not as athletic, but he's very Chris Paul-esque. Very good scorer at 6'1". Can do a whole lot. I think he gets knocked a little too much for his defense. When you're scoring a whole lot, you're tired. So I think that has a little bit to do with it. So I think his conditioning can get a little up. He is my number one on my big board, Darius Acuff. I think he is going to be so special. He's the most sure thing all-star wise for me. But then flip side, and they got Billy Richmond, they got Brazil, they got studs. It's a Calipari ball club. They got specimens. Then you go on the other side, Arizona. We got point guard. We got Bradenburys. Got point guard Jaden Bradley, who's their best player, conference player of the year. Got Koa Pete, one of those hotshot freshmen. Karcharev, imported freshman. And they got Krivas playing center. And then they got, the best bench in all of college basketball with Dwayne Aristode, who's the 8th man. They got Toby Awaka, one of the best offensive rebounding bigs in the country, coming in as the 6th man. And they got Del Orso, who's the guy who can torch and drop 20 at any given night. 1 through 8 does not get much better than Arizona. It's going to be a tough game for Arkansas to pull out in that regard. Like I said, I like talking. I told you my FanDuel sports duel bet. My FanDuel bet where I parlayed Duke, Arizona, Michigan to all go to the Final Four. I really don't know what's going to happen beyond that, to be honest. But yeah, should be a great game, and I think Arkansas can play them close, but it's going to be tough to actually get it done. But Arizona's been known chokers, but this is Tommy Lloyd. This is not Sean Miller. And for the most part, besides the Princeton game where Princeton went all the way to the Elite Eight, they've been clicking on all cylinders. Tommy Lloyd's one of the best kind of X's and O's guys in the country. He runs very good sets. They play really good ethical basketball, and they got the players to get it done. Arizona's a 7.5-point favorite in the Sweet 16, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, I talk about this. I don't want to say a lot, but I've talked about it before on this show where my dad went to UMass, and when he was at UMass, Cal was first starting there. And so growing up before I decided to go to Indiana, I was a Calipari fan. So I watched him at Memphis. I watched him at Kentucky. I haven't been following him obviously since I became a Hoosier, but I've seen this movie a million times where Cal has an extremely talented team where he's going up against one of these teams that are just like you just talked about it, the way Arizona is built. Like they might be the most talented roster in the country. He's going to look at Darius Acuff and go, if you can get 50, we can win this game. And that's how that conversation is going to go. And that's the way that they're going to attack this basketball game. And it's going to be unbelievably exciting to watch them just essentially run high pick and roll and dribble drive and try and let Acuff go crazy and try and beat those guys by himself. It's going to be really, really entertaining.
Yeah, there's not more Jimmy's and Joe's guys in the sport than John Calipari. He gets it. I'd be very John Calipari.
He's team Jimmy.
If I was called basketball coach, sure. I'd be like, yeah, I'm getting the best players, and we're going to have the best team.
He said, we don't even need to know how to coach. We'll just get out there and figure it out. Like, I'll win one of them.
He never talks about X's and O's. Yeah, I just tell him to like settle down, and sometimes I tell him like don't listen to me. Like I just tell him to calm down. Like he's just like a player's coach. Like he's awesome. Like I don't know. I always like
roll the ball out there and just go compete. My guys are better than your guys. And when he plays teams in the tournament that are really well coached, that run sets, that can go get it at the end. Yeah.
Exactly. And then just when you thought the slate couldn't even get any better, we got Houston. We got Illinois. We got two teams that have the potential to win a national title with those three top dogs up there. Going to be difficult for them, but I feel like the winner of this game is going to the Final Four. And I said that before Florida even lost. These two teams are loaded. Houston's been knocking at the door for the past.
I want to cut you off real quick, Brad, because we got a football question in the chat. This is Indiana at the Voice of College Football, and I know we're talking basketball, but football comes first. John Jacobs, shout out, that says, I love your detailed analysis of the roster. It's appreciated as a fan. Could Jaden Williams play this year? Brad, can Jaden Williams play this year?
He could. I think it's highly unlikely. I think it's a very likely redshirt year for him, just considering the 4 seniors we got at the top at the linebacker room. Unless something drastically happens, it's going to be hard for any of those freshmen and PJ Nelson to get tick on defense. Now, can he break through, play on special teams? Oh, for sure. But to get linebacker reps above Utzinger, Turner, Jones, and Hardy is just going to be a really tall task for any freshman.
I completely agree. I'm glad you said that or made that mention about special teams, because I do think with the way he's a run and hit guy, like you saw a couple of his high school games, kid did 17 tackles in a high school game, like not afraid to put his helmet on the football. There is a spot for you on special teams if you want to go run and hit people. And Indiana is more than willing to put freshmen on special teams if they're willing to go do the job. So, like Brad said, I don't know. I think it would be unbelievably exciting if he was able to work his way into snaps as a true freshman in that linebacker room. That would mean he's an unbelievably talented player. And not to say that he's not, but to put that expectation on any freshman, given how talented that room is, would be kind of tough. But yeah, he's as far as talent, yeah, he can absolutely play this year. Special teams, I don't want to say I would expect him to play on special teams because, again, true freshman, but definitely wouldn't be surprised at all. Brad, who do you think?
Barker or Schott? Byron Baldwin played great on special teams last year. He also played a lot of really good defensive reps last year, especially toward the end of the year. Will Baldwin start next year? It's between him and Sanks. They brought in a lot of guys that are kind of ahead of him seniority-wise. However, he's going to have a big part of this defense regardless, and it really doesn't matter if he's starting or not because he's going to be a big part of it. So they're going to use him a lot. He's going to be involved. Yeah, it's just going to be hard to see him take roles over Zachman and Farrell, but there's definitely spots for him to work in, especially when we go 6 DBs. Like he's easily the DB number 6 within that first group, and it's really like a big battle between him and Sanks at the Rover.
Yeah, I have a little bit more conviction on this than Brad does. Brian Baldwin named by Signetti as a starter before the season, before he got hurt. Like he was a true freshman going to be starting in this defense. I don't think there's any question he's going to be heavily involved, and I do think he's going to end up starting on this team. I do.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters either.
Big piece of it, regardless.
I agree.
Yeah. Pons had a 41-inch vertical when he first got to Indiana, so we improved that by 2.5. How about that? That's crazy.
Love it.
But yes, we have Illinois. We have Houston. This will be the best game of the tournament until Arizona plays Michigan. This game, I don't know what's going to happen.
There's a
part of me that's like, okay, Illinois, if Illinois shoots 50% from the floor, like they can and very easily could, they'll win. But Houston could also be their worst nightmare and absolutely just physically dominate them in every facet of the game, tire them out, wear them out, and just like they did to Duke last year in the Final Four. Same exact vibe. Same exact type of kind of sentiment as that Duke-Houston game that is very similar to this Illinois-Houston game, where you have this loaded roster, scores galore, so many NBA guys on this Illinois team. When you talk about Stojakovic and Perkovic, I mean, those guys are going to – and the Ivicic brothers, like those guys are going to be playing in the NBA. And Houston probably doesn't have as many NBA guys as they do, but they have JoJo Tugler and they have Chris Senek. They got Kingston Flemings. They have an iconic 5. Yeah, we're talking about Flemings, Sharp, Senek, Tugler, and Uzon. Man, the Illinois depth could really help them in this game, is what I will say. I think scoring depth, they have a little bit more. Houston likes to play their top 5 guys a lot. And yeah, it's going to be tough. I have Houston in my bracket, but I'm glad I can't bet in the state of Illinois on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's just say that.
I said it before, and I don't even know if you heard me, but "Take Me to the Balkans" from Bill Raftery was by far the best call of the weekend on the missed dunk on the one end and the absolute poster on the other end.
Like dunking on Ivicic, bold move. And he's like, watch this.
But the other nugget that people kind of missed was that the Illinois coaching staff has been to the Balkan region like 50 times in the past year. Like they're not just like popping over there once or twice, check out a practice. Like Underwood's going and teaching seminars. Like they're very active in the region. Like this isn't just like hopefully we'll grab a guy if somebody falls through the cracks. Like no. Like they're attacking that as a recruiting pipeline, which I thought was really interesting and something that like is another way to just try and stack talent in this NIL era. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this is
Doncic and Jokic dominating the NBA. Like, why are you not going to that region?
Yeah, I think this is game of the tournament, at least on paper. And I was super confident in Houston, but going into the tournament, and now I'm just like I'm really excited to just sit and watch that game. I'm with you. I have no idea which way that's going.
All right. Before we head to the Friday slate, John Jacobs, he's a little concerned that Bray Lynch won't beat Coogan was last year. I agree. I think as a unit, though, I think the O-line having a full where they know which five it's going to be. They have a full kind of offseason to mesh together. I think it's going to be really beneficial for that group to really get going. We can really just plug and play Leibfried anywhere as the sixth guy and kind of just roll with that. And they're going to have a lot of good continuity. Great news. Bray Lynch definitely had his moments last year, but he is going to be now a 3-year starter for maybe 4-year at this point. But 3-year starter in the Signetti era. And I think that's helpful to have as your center going into it. But yeah, it's going to be hard to one-up Coogan, who I think is going to have a really good NFL career as a center. And won't return to greatness until we have a great point guard. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, and a center and a shooting guard. You need all of it. You need all of it. You watch these Michigan teams, this Arizona team, like they got it all. Like
Bayesian player rating from evanmedia.com is eye-opening when you look at the roster strengths of these top teams.
It's crazy. It is crazy when you look back at some of like the analytics of some of these teams. Just like there are 8 teams on KenPom this year that would rank above every single team in 2023. That's 2 years ago.
I mean, just look at the Big Ten. Like the Big Ten has gotten twice as good as a league, like in terms of like talent pool.
This might be Izzo's best team ever, and they might not even get out of the Sweet 16. That's how loaded these rosters are at the top. It is crazy. Yeah, simply not enough talent. They weren't good enough. It was Lamar and Lamar a bunch of scrubs.
No.
If you want to put it against any of these tournament teams, like that's what it was. It was
no. If you look at BPR on evanmedia.com, Tucker DeVries was our best player, and he was the 25th best player in the conference. Like Indiana didn't have a single player that would have been taken. If you took all 18 teams in the Big Ten and you had a draft and you based it strictly off of BPR, which is a advanced metric for measuring the value of a player, Indiana wouldn't have a single person taken in the first round of that draft.
Well, if I'm drafting a team to go to the tournament, I'm taking Lamar first over anyone on that team.
I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm telling you what the numbers say.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yeah, they weren't. It is eye-opening when you look at like the strength of Indiana's roster in terms of BPR compared to a Michigan or a Michigan State it's like the depths of the rosters don't even compare.
Like there's a couple guys. Like I would say the 3 bench guys Arizona has would start on Indiana's team this past year.
Yeah. I mean,
Orso, Owaka, and Aristode would all start on Indiana this past year's team.
But I don't know. It's a delicate conversation because it's hard to look at a diehard Indiana basketball fan and tell them that they didn't see what their eyes told them they saw. And so at the same time, this is an institution that has, if not the largest budget, because they probably won't be at the top of the sport, but enough of a budget to be able to compete in a portal era. And with the hiring of Ryan Carr, the positive outlook would be that has enough, like a huge impact on the way that they recruit the portal and the talent level that they're able to bring in. And then he coaches to the level of the team, and we kind of see improvement there. So that would be the positive outlook. And it's watching the tournament this past weekend, and I'm sure a lot of Indiana fans were having similar thoughts watching a lot of the first year head coaches have a lot of successes. Like it's like to say like have patience at this point in time is just a frustrating thing to say. So I won't even say it. It's just like I don't even know what to say to fans who people just want to win. And that's the part that's frustrating. So I don't know. It's a really, 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 really important next couple of weeks. The portal officially opens on April 7th. And if things aren't in line quickly in terms of where they're allocating capital for players, then I think it's more than fair to be a little nervous.
All right, we gotta wrap this up quick. We're at the 2-hour mark, so we gotta wrap this thing up. Duke St. John's.
I love this game.
Once again, just every single year Duke's won a national title, they've beaten St. John's, and that's what's gonna happen. And I don't know if that guarantees that they're gonna win a national title, but it looks pretty good pattern wise.
Basketball heads have been having a problem with. It hasn't quite been like, oh, this Duke team's not tough enough, but people have been annoyed with the way they've played compared to the teams they've been playing against. It's taken them a little bit to get going in their first 2 games. St. John's is absolutely a team that will muddy that up, and that will be a rock fight. And if that's a St. John's level basketball game, they can absolutely win it.
That's what I kind of like about this slate is that as much as I'm talking about these teams at the top, like some really like St. John's is really good.
Criminal 5 seed. Criminal 5 seed.
Tuck their squad. You got Bryce Hopkins. You got Ian Jackson. Like those guys are phenomenal players. Can definitely hang, and that's an upset alert for Duke. Like it's going to be upset alert for them here on out. Then we move on to Michigan, Alabama. It's going to be tough without Aiden Holloway, but you still got LeBaron Fillon. He's going lotto. That front court for Michigan is going to be really hard to beat. Alabama's bigs are good, but they're not, dealing with Merez Johnson and Adai is a little different, and it's gonna be tough sledding for them there.
Well, if they shoot like they did last night, then they can beat anybody in the country by any score.
The shots are falling for Nate Oates, and that if they catch fire, watch out. Could be another absolute lightning fest. And then you got Michigan State, UConn. You got Izzo versus Hurley. Come on, man. Come on. Like I said, this might be Izzo's best team ever, and they might not even win this game. Like this is what an unreal slate we have here. I don't have a read on it. I really don't.
It's like I'm so excited to sit in front of the TV and just watch, like turn everything else off and watch basketball. Specifically for that slate of games in DC, though, is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah. Inject this slate into my veins. Really,
yeah, it's as good as it gets.
Yeah. And then Tennessee, Iowa State. Iowa State's a mean ball club. The injury to Joshua Jefferson is going to hurt them and kind of leaves them vulnerable because Tennessee's got Amet and Gillespie, who are going to be NBA guys. And that's a tough squad. Barnes been doing this thing for a long time. He's
TJO, not a great Sweet 16 record.
That's a guy who's been chomping at the bit for a Final Four for decades and trying to get his first. So should make for a mean slate. We'll see if Joshua Jefferson's healthy. Should make, I think it leaves Iowa State a little vulnerable in this spot a little bit. But yeah, I hope he's back. It's tough having an ankle injury this close to him. That's a guy who's been through a lot of ankle injuries. It's tough to get back to 100% within 2 weeks. It's really hard. So, yeah, we'll see. He hurt himself in the first game, so gonna be difficult for him. They were able to get it done and win handily against Kentucky. So that
Tennessee's not Kentucky.
Yeah, Tennessee is a lot better than that Kentucky team. They just are. They have 2 NBA guys. Gillespie and Amen are NBA players.
I love it.
Man, what a slate. I can't wait.
What a slate. John Jacobs is asking in the chat, what day and time is your weekly live stream? Yeah, we're off a day typically. Typically, we're on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, but Brad and I both have usually you see Brad and I, we're on the same team, but tomorrow night we're drafting opposite teams in the fantasy baseball league. And so definitely can't be doing a live show then. But no, we're usually on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. Facebook, the Voice of College Football Facebook is a new thing that started kind of last week, so we'll be live on Facebook going forward. But we're always on YouTube, Indiana at the Voice of College Football on YouTube, and we're on Twitter, Sigs Inside, at Sigs Inside Pod on Twitter. But yeah, Brad, you got any closing thoughts?
Can't wait for spring ball. Can't wait to hear some more tidbits next week and really kind of dive into it. yeah, just really pumped. Can't wait to kind of watch some of the clips, see how fast we are, and yeah, just this is where it starts. This is where the repeat begins. Right here is spring ball and just getting after. Obviously, it's starting winter workouts, but it continues in spring ball as we go to the next phase of the off season. As there is no off season at Voice College Football, so shout out FanDuel, shout out Price Sanford, shout out
Price Sanford. No, whoa, Jesus.
Charlie Becker, shout out.
I like that. Shout out Roe Hardy.
Yeah, shout out Roe Hardy. Shout out Tyree Tucker. Shout out Josh Hoover. Hope he gets a good grasp of the playbook going into this camp. I think that's going to be the biggest thing for this team. Overarching is really just going to be Josh Hoover getting him up to speed. I know every other room is going to be where they need to be with all the leadership they have coming back. So, yeah, quarterback Josh Hoover picking it up as quick as he can is going to benefit this team. So, no better guy to have doing it than the current leader in career yards in college football. Yeah, go Hoosiers.
Spring is in the air, baby. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to Indiana at the Voice of College Football on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at IndianaVOCFB. If you're watching on the Sigs Inside account on Twitter, hop on over to YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. Like I said, follow me at Alec Keyser, follow Brad at Bradley_Loomis8. Check out all the things that are going on at the Voice of College Football, the various different networks. Mark Rogers is doing stuff on the main channel all the time. Our guys over at the Alabama channel are going crazy. The Michigan channel is going nuts. Miami channel is going crazy. Like, people are posting content day in and day out. Iowa channel, obviously, and all the guys still playing or putting out content left and right. And yeah, there is no offseason at the Voice of College Football, but like as Brad said, spring starts tomorrow. We're here, and it's football season now. So really exciting times ahead. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. We'll see everybody next week. Go Hoosiers. Oh, and check us out wherever you get your your video set. Oh, hold on. You can check us out wherever you get your audio podcasts. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon, we're on all that good stuff. So if you don't like watching the video, if you just rather listen to us speak, you got that too. All that good stuff. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. Talk to you guys next week. Go Hoosiers.